And here's your fair warning that this video will be a lot more talkative and rambling than normal. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, well today I am finally getting around to a very highly requested video on my channel. About 2 or 3 times a week I get a comment something to the effect of, hey, I'm looking at this 2009 IS250 with X amount of miles, can you tell me how much you spend on yours maintaining it? I want to know if this is a good investment to make, if I should instead go with a more mainstream product that, will this Lexus cost more than a more mainstream product? And really it's a matter of personal opinion and what you value, but I thought that I would finally, instead of beating around the bush and commenting back to every single person, I'd just make a video and explain how much it has been to operate my 2008 Lexus IS250 for the past almost 5 years. So as you all very well know, I have a 2008 Lexus IS250. It is an Obsidian. It's a rear-wheel drive model with a 6-speed automatic transmission and of course the 2.5-liter V6 engine. This generation IS was from 2006 until 2013. So you can find these in 06 in pretty rough shape for under $5,000, or a 2013 in immaculate condition for upwards of $27,000, $28,000. Depending on the mileage and the options and whatnot. So it's really a broad range of, you're either a pretty expensive vehicle or, something that's not really that expensive. And of course, everywhere in between, it's a different kind of car and how much it will cost to maintain. And, if you buy a 2013 with only 20,000 miles on it, and then you only put 20,000 more miles on it, you're probably not going to spend much money on it maintaining it in the short time you have it. So from my personal experience, I got my IS on October 31st of 2012. At the time it had 55,000 miles on it, and it had been in one family its entire life. It was originally a leased vehicle, and then they bought it off the lease, so that's why the mileage was a little bit low. For a 4-year-old vehicle, is a little over 10,000 miles a year. Currently, 4.5 years later, today is March 8th, 2017, I have just over 126,000 miles on it. So I've done a little over 70,000 miles in almost 5 years, or going on 5 years. So it's about 16,000 miles a year that I've put on it. Now in that time, all of the servicing, except for 2 extras, all the servicing has been done at my local Lexus dealership, Butler Lexus in Macon, Georgia. Side note, if you live in the Middle Georgia area, I have nothing but praise to sing for Butler Lexus. We've been going to them since my mom had her GX in 2006, so well over a decade, a family atmosphere, and they won't steer you wrong, which is why I've gone to them consistently for so long. Now, every 5,000 miles, I go in for an oil change at Butler Lexus, and it's exactly $56.40 after tax. It's just a regular oil change. I don't do synthetic because that wasn't really a thing when the IS originally came out, and that is a little bit more expensive. If I were to go to the Toyota dealership nearby, it'd be about $40 an oil change. However, the extra $16 is worth it for me, primarily because you get a loaner car, which means I get a video for you guys. But I mean, there's an old cliche: you get what you pay for. If you go to the $20 Jiffy Lube oil change, you're going to get what you pay for. So that's all a matter of personal opinion. I've always gone to the Lexus dealership, and I don't see changing that anytime soon, as long as I keep the vehicle, so which will be a lot longer than now. And speaking with my service writers at Butler Lexus, people that hold on to their cars routinely come in with upwards of 200,000 miles on their Lexuses for servicing. It's not like you're phased out after you're out of warranty. That's not the case, and of course, this is, in my experience with Lexus dealerships, beyond just the one I've dealt with, and where my grandparents have serviced, is overall, Lexus dealerships don't overcharge you like some other dealerships might. You're not going to walk in there and they're going to tell you you need to replace the whole this, that, or the other. They're going to straight talk you and tell you what they recommend. You can pick and choose off of that what you want. And basically they will keep your car running in tip-top condition as if it could go on the showroom floor that very same day. Anyways, $56.40 per oil change. I have done 14 oil changes since I've had it. But now another thing you will probably have to do if you pick up an IS is get tires. Because unless you get an all-wheel drive IS 250, the tires are staggered, and what that means is the rear tires are wider than the front tires, so you cannot rotate them as you would in a normal car. So, depending on how you drive, you can get anywhere from 15,000 to 40,000 miles out of a set of tires. For me, I've gotten 35,000 per set. So, and I've consistently run, since we got the car, we put a set of Toyo Proxys 4S Plus tires, they're all-season tires, and I've loved them. Obviously, we've gotten a second pair, and when I have to get tires next time, I'll probably get the exact same pair. Now, those are $850 installed at my local independent tire store here in town that my parents and I have gone to for a long time. So, tire prices may be different in your area. You may go with a different set of tires than what I've gone with, but they've seemed to last longer than other sets of tires, and I think they are a pretty good value for what you're getting. So there's that. You've got the tires. You'll have to do oil changes, obviously, with any car. Side note, I don't know if this is just my car or if it's an IS in general, but my car has the HID. They were optional in 2008, the HID headlights with adaptive front lighting system. They became standard later on, and for some reason I've had to replace both of them. Actually, they went out like within 5,000 miles of each other, and they're $250 a pop. So I've spent $500 on HID headlights. There are some that have the halogens. You may not have to do that, you may have to do that, I don't know. But I mean, headlights is something you have to replace in every car, and obviously the old halogen, the old traditional $5 bulb at, AutoZone is a lot different than swiveling and adapting headlight. But you get what you pay for. You get the automatic, swiveling headlights, or you get just the standard halogens. So, just a side note there. Another thing that may or may not have to be done to your car is the water pump. The water pumps are not a common issue across the board on many products, but it is something that you will likely have to do no matter what kind of car you have. I mean, I have friends with BMW 3 Series, like my brother's BMW, we had to do it to it. I mean, it's just a common issue, just the way the part's designed, where you have to replace that. So anywhere from 75,000 to 125,000 miles, you will probably have to do the water pump if it has not already been done. And that was $800 at the Lexus dealership. Yes, I got that right, $800. Now, another kind of rare issue that happened to mine was I had to replace the catalytic converter at just over 100,000 miles. Now, talking with my Lexus dealership, this is not a common issue by any means, but it is not unheard of. So that was $2,200 at the Toyota dealership where I go to school. There is no Lexus dealership there, so that had to be done. It is what it is. You kind of have to bite the bullet and pay for that. And that is something you might have to face when you buy an older car, is issues like that. Versus a new Corolla or something, you won't have to solve that issue as soon, I guess, if you're buying an older car. But then again, catalytic converters are not just something that happens with Lexuses. I mean, that's an issue that may or may not happen to your car, regardless of what kind of car you drive. So that was a cost incurred for me. At one point, I did the brake pads run the whole car, and that was $180 just for the pads to be installed. My dad helped. My dad did the brake pad install for me, and I watched and helped. So that was $180. Did a coolant flush at 100,000 miles for $150. I replaced the battery. Now, batteries are something that happens to all cars, and that depends on your region and where you live and what the climate is and how often you have to do it. So that's about $150 there for me. Then again, I did the brake discs. So I did the discs and the front pads, and that was about $300. And then every 60,000 miles, you will have a major service that I highly, highly, highly recommend going to the Lexus dealership for. At this service, you'll have to have your spark plugs done, and you'll also have a carbon buildup cleanup, which I'll get more into that in a second. But at this stage, it's something that really keeps your car, it keeps the longevity of your car going strong. This is not something I don't think you want to skimp on. It's about $650 to get your spark plugs and the whole service and works done at your local Lexus dealership, and I would not skip that service. If you want to get your oil changed on wherever, great, fine, up to you, but I would highly, highly recommend staying on top of your spark plugs. It really keeps the life of your vehicle going further and further. And I think that's basically, in a nutshell, all that I've done. My family and I really believe in preventative maintenance versus, post-apocalyptic mess up with your car. I don't believe you want to wait until something has gone wrong. You want to be ahead of the issue, which is why we did the water pump at 75,000 miles, just to go ahead and bite the bullet, get it over with, plan to pay that money versus it just happen in your SOL. So that's just a personal opinion on how we treat our vehicles, and I think it works for us. I mean, my dad has 160 some odd thousand miles on his Toyota Tundra. I have 100 almost 30,000 miles on my car. I mean, and with rock solid, no issues that are unheard of. So this is my major stack. I have all of the service records since I got the car, and as you can see, they're all from Butler Lexus. Then I have all the service records from the Carfax of the previous owner. You can see Butler Lexus up there. So I don't think that you'll have an issue with your IS, and I think will be just as rock solid as can be. You're not going to have any electrical issues or things of that nature with this car, as long as you keep up to date with your maintenance. So in the 70 some odd thousand miles that I've had it, we've spent $8,250 on maintenance. So combine that with the initial purchase price, and I think you'll have a pretty good value car overall. So I hope this answers your questions after I put this off for so long. And thank you for watching, and please, by any means, if you have any questions, shoot them down below. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.